What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok, bottom video, and we just gonna hop right into it. So today I'll be discussing kind of a topic I don't really discuss usually. I don't really discuss, YouTubers on the channel, especially ones that they derived from couple channels. Because honestly, I don't really watch that content. No offense, but just not my cup of tea. So today we'll be discussing about Corey SSG getting a felony kidnapping charge. So one, if y'all didn't know, he used to date this girl named Carmen. I seen her a lot recently just because she date Big Boogie now, which is tough for my boy. It's tough for that nigga Corey, boys. You went from a YouTuber to a rapper. That's tough. Anyway, it's not about her. So this nigga has a felony kidnapping charge. Now this happened out in the Houston area. So the story starts is these two women and another man that Corey is friends with. They plan to go bowling. So before they go bowling, Corey invites them to an ATV trip. So then they do that and they go bowling. While at the bowling alley, they start to feel some type of tension between Corey and somebody else there. So the girl's just basically like, if you got a problem and all that, you might as well leave or some shit like that. So then he just tells them that like, yeah, I'm finna go meet somebody in the parking lot. So a lot of time passed, and they was like, oh, we left some of our stuff in your car. Obviously, cause they rode together ATV, and then y'all get what I'm saying. Left stuff in the car. So the other dude was still there. So he have him come meet you at this parking lot. So he meets him at this parking lot. Um, and then they trying to get their stuff, and then she like, can you take me to my apartment, which is right behind the parking lot. So when they go to the apartment, or not go to the apartment, when they're supposed to go to the apartment, he begins to drive in the opposite direction. So while he's driving in the opposite direction, they said like he started changing behavior, and he was just talking about like how he thinks somebody after him and all this shit. So like I said, he's driving in the opposite direction. Obviously these girls are nervous because the apartment went is right behind the shopping center they was at. So while he's doing all this, he's showing weapons and all kind of shit. She's like, he calls a woman on the phone who's labeled as his future wife. Now in the video they suspected who it was. Now I told you I don't keep up with this shit, so I don't know who that is. But like I said, in this document it says on the phone labeled as his future wife. So labeled as future, he talks to this woman and tells her like basically like when you he was like, I'm taking them like out to the middle of nowhere, like this is my opportunity, like should I do it? And y'all get what I'm saying when he say should do it. You basically can't say that on YouTube, but you know what I mean, like should I do it? So then she cause like, oh, I forgot to say, in the middle of him brandishing his weapon, like I told you, this nigga shoots this hoe out the window, cause obviously they in the middle of nowhere. But Texas big as hell, just to be on the middle of nowhere with nobody and you got them shooting in the air, that's crazy as fuck. Anyway, um, I don't feel like even when I go on the back roads, I be out there. Well, I lied. I take that back actually. Never mind. But yeah. So like, at this point, you do it. The guns shooting out the window, the weapons. The girls are nervous. So eventually, while they're texting, while they're texting, while he's doing all this and driving them out there, the girls are trying to communicate with each other, and then so they're texting, and obviously, you're in a car with somebody, and then and they won't sit in like in the back seat together. Like one was in the front, one was in the back, I think. So it'll tell you later why I said that. But like I said, they're texting each other. So he get mad and snatches the phone from one of them. So obviously they can't text and communicate each other now because they're sitting in the car with them out loud. So then, you know, eventually I don't know what crossed his mind from the do it to them, but then he basically like, y'all got one opportunity to get out. And then he let these hoes out on the middle of the road and ain't even get one of the hoes they phone back. So if y'all didn't know that already, that the like, cause what people is like, a lot of people I've been reading saying like, oh, that's not kidnapping, cause one, they willingly got in the car, and two, but what people don't realize, like it is also a crime to take somebody somewhere and then just drop them off in the middle of nowhere like that. So I don't know if that's technically considered kidnapping, like, cause you know you just dropped them off, but like that I mean actually that is kidnapping, cause you gotta think if I'm a kidnapper, like say I kidnapped a kid though, like just for example, don't just for example, say I did that, but then like eventually I seen what was going on, I just let him out somewhere. I still kidnapped that kid, so yes, he is kidnapping. Like I said, the one issue with the with this kidnapping, it's kind of hard to cut because like they did willingly get in the car, but like dropping them off somewhere, that's still kidnapping. So, um, for him at least, one they say they tracked the Life 360 on one of the girls' phones, so they can track like obviously y'all know Life 360, so obviously they can track from. They went from the bowling alley, or the ATV, to the bowling alley, all the way to the apartment complex, or to the parking lot in front of the apartment complex, all the way to out to the middle of nowhere where he left their ass. So that's one problem. Now obviously, now if y'all hadn't seen, now like this incident took place on November 22nd. So he took on December 9th. He actually took a booked a one way flight to Qatar. Now, now one why that country specifically? Because that's the same. Because Dirk tried to get to the UAE. I don't know, because if y'all didn't know, they have an extradition law, and they are usually very, willingly to hold up they end at the extradition law. Now I know I did talk about not too long about Quincy Promes, having this issue, but the thing about Quincy Promes is an athlete in the UAE, so he is making probably somebody who's very, very, very important to the UAE money. So which is why he's probably being protected a little more than him. What the fuck is Corey doing for the UAE? like, so that's why I'm like, nigga, I wouldn't have went over there. Um, Now he did repost a response video. Y'all had to look into your stuff. It's pretty long, so obviously I'm not gonna put that whole shit in here. But basically, he tries to argue with some of the logistics about him kidnapping and the phone and all that. But I'm not gonna lie. If you go watch the video, the way he's wording things and the way he's guilty. Now, the way he is wording things, he talking about like he might be guilty. I'm not gonna lie, he might be guilty, but I think he's trying to argue the logistics because he's trying to argue what I just said about that it won't kidnap in the way they got willingly and all that. But I don't think he knows that just leaving somebody in the middle of nowhere is still kidnapping, because that's dangerous, especially leaving two women specifically, because that's very dangerous to their life, just leaving them out in the middle of nowhere with a lack of resources. So I mean, I don't think he knows that. You can kind of tell by his confidence in the way he's explaining things. Because I'm not gonna lie, I ain't never really been in no criminal trouble, but I just see, in my experience and like reading up and watching these things, the best advice is just to shut the fuck up. And him not doing that just makes me look at him like, yeah, nigga, you're probably guilty. Because a lot of niggas who is guilty don't shut the fuck up. So I ain't figured that out way, but yeah, it looked like he in for some shit now. So then he also he has posted, since like I said, that response video as well, saying that he did come back to America. Basically, I basically, they're not going to let him leave the country again. At least without this case being settled. Now, he said he was going to turn himself in because of this, but as of a couple days ago, or like within the last day, he has not turned himself in. They were on the. I mean, you can look it up on the inmate thing. Now, I ain't gonna say it's not. The inmate thing is not always 100%, but it's pretty accurate. But he is look like he's out here moving freely, so I don't think he turned himself yet in. Wait, in yet. But a lot of people, I would, take your time, get your stuff together. So I understand why. Um, I will say what I think will happen. Now, I don't think he'll actually get a felony kidnapping charge, because that's crazy. Because if this story is real accurate as it may be, I don't think he gets an actual felony kidnapping charge. I think they dropped the charge now. I think he does get in trouble for something, because leaving someone on the side of the road is still crazy. But I don't see him getting into no real legal trouble, like going to have to sit in jail for this. So like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok, Bonneville, and we out.